So here we are, beginning the shopping experience on the outside of Trader Joe's, and I'm going to go through it quickly and show you some of the most valuable things that we recommend as part of a regular diet. The bread section. The big issue about whether people should ever have wheat bread. I do test patients. There are several different ways of testing to see if you have a strong intolerance. The biggest issue with many products is what's the quality of the materials. So what we recommend is the organic flourless wheat berry bread. It's organic wheat and it never was made into flour. So I'm going to get a couple of these. We steam bread rather than toast it. Toasting it is much harder on the body if you have a somewhat weak digestion. We often use one of these or the other. The tofurkey or the Italian sausage. One of them is made out of tofu, the other one is made out of wheat gluten. Again, for those people that don't have severe wheat reactivity, that's not a problem. And I'm not as deaf on wheat. It is the quality of the wheat that is most important. When I was doing my research in Australia, I met with a great wheat farmer there who told me that on the commodities market, Australian wheat commands the highest price, Canadian wheat the next, and most European countries, including Italy, use, if they can get it, they use Australian wheat. It's the highest quality, and if not, then they use Canadian wheat. So keeping that in mind, we have wonderful products here that are Italian pizza crust made with organic wheat, and they actually come from Italy. They're USDA organic, but they come from Italy, Meduno, Italy, and we make wonderful organic pizzas once or so a week, and I use a basil pesto on that instead of tomato. We have very select few things that we use from different of the stores, but I just want to show you what those are. They have some wonderful organic carrot juice. I'm not getting any today, but I recommend that. Oh, and I see it now up here oh, that's plastic as well, but it's very nice organic carrot juice. So here at Trader Joe's, I didn't stop for this, but this is a real big staple for me, the brown rice pasta organic. You can cook that up and throw in various vegetables and some different vegetable protein additions. If you have some attraction to chocolate as a stimulant, and I do as a matter of fact, so if I need something that's a little bit of a stimulant if I'm driving late, I have found this to be absolutely an outstanding product. It's inexpensive, it's organic chocolate with organic sugar. All chocolate has sugar in it, pretty much. And a little bit of that is probably about as good as you're going to get. The produce at Trader Joe's is lacking. I'm looking at these little onions here, and I think I'm going to pass on those. These are actually okay. We use a fair amount of organic onions. Continuing the second part of our little shopping journey. So again, quite selective things in Whole Foods. I think before they were taken over by Amazon, I still noticed a tendency for them to get rid of many of the really high quality brands and substitute in other products, probably because of margins. Everything, unfortunately, now results as how much the retailer can realize in profits, and that's where we're seeing our society move to, unfortunately. So we're going to go over and look at what they've got here, organic mandarins. I commented on that previously. You look at if you happen to have a whole bunch of money available for fruit, then you can get this nice stuff. These are certified organic mandarins, and they don't, let's see what they have. I'm sprayed on them. Organic food grade natural resin, and that's okay. So if, you could have that, and they are, I find, quite a bit superior to oranges. And this is not just myself, but a lot of doctors have checked these over the years. They have quite a different effect. What used to be called tangerines and mandarins seem to work so well for the body as opposed to oranges. We also use blueberries quite a lot. Pretty much that, and then I'll show you some things when we get to Costco. So in this section, remember, parsley is very drying to the body, and if people are having dry skin conditions, you should not use parsley. Green onions, on the other hand, as I mentioned, are extremely valuable. So we grow those on our own little organic herb farm. They're very easy to grow. We recommend people just get a little patch of land. Beets are quite wonderful, and beets and chard is in the beet family. So we recommend dark greens, and if you look at, there's green chard there, and red chard, and that is very different from kale and collards, which we recommend, and also, of course, broccoli. I eat a great deal of broccoli. My thyroid function is pretty good, so I can handle that. If you have very low thyroid problems and you're taking thyroid medication, you probably don't want to eat as many members of the broccoli and kale and collards family. Carrots, of course, organic carrots are wonderful. We'll look and see if they're carrying those now at Costco. They finally brought them back. We use a great deal of cabbage. I recommend people make their own sauerkraut. There is simply nothing like it. You can't buy sauerkraut, no matter how much you pay, that's anything like what you can make. Peppers, along with tomatoes, eggplants, they are inflammatory for a lot of people, and a lot of people in chronic illness management suggest not using tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, and peppers, and I follow those recommendations most of the time. Cucumbers are wonderful in the summer months, not so much in the winter. Organic ginger, of course, is great. Lemongrass here is terrific. We use that lemongrass with galanga, which you need to buy galanga in an Asian store. Galanga root and lemongrass makes the wonderful coconut tom kha kai soup, and I recommend people have that at least once a week. We were mentioning that in the previous stop. I use basil, but we grow it because it's almost like a weed, and we use a great deal of basil, and we make it into pesto with olive oil and garlic and salt and lemon juice. That is extremely good as a topping for pizza that I was talking about, showing you how I used that here. So here we have quite a selection of fruits, but I'm always a little bit disenchanted with fruits in this country when I compare them with the wonderful fruit that I used to get in the many many years that I spent exploring Peru, which is, the fruits there are just like from a different planet. There's a wonderful video, and I'm going to put up a little link right here in this, showing the movement by professional athletes away from meat in general, and it's actually astonishing to see how well that video is done. I recommend everybody look at it. I just absolutely recommend people stay away from regular cheese. Daya cheese is my favorite. The ingredients are quite good. You have to be able to starch, canola oil, chickpea protein. So all of these substitute cheeses are not optimally healthy. They're certainly better than regular cheese in the sense that they don't congest the body as much. Here we are, of course, in the tea and coffee section, where people spend a lot of time on coffee. When people are trying to recover, I recommend that they use either Cafix, which you see here, or Roma. They're both roasted grain beverages. They're very healthy, and also you could choose Pero. They're all very similar. They each have a little bit different taste, and I suggest trying all of them. They're a nice hot beverage. We use beautiful pure coconut cream from Thailand as opposed to milk in those beverages, and it tastes great. So here we are in the last stop of the 3 locations that I use in Nashville. We have more staples in Costco than anywhere else, so I'm going to try and go through that fairly quickly. We'll probably go first to the grain section, and just important background information in grains. So you see organic grains coming from other countries. Here we're going to see organic rice from India. We're going to see organic rice from Thailand. And you have to be very careful, because even though the rice may be certified organic, the water that irrigates the rice may have a problem. And that was what came out a couple of years ago with respect to Thailand. So here we are in the aisle with grains, and as mentioning, have to be careful of where the grains come from. These are all the different selected organic rices, but we end up going with the Della organic brown basmati rice. I've checked that, and it seems to check out very well on people. The other wonderful thing that we get in this aisle is the quinoa, the organic quinoa, which comes from Bolivia, I believe. And the next, moving ahead, the wonderful olives here. They're not organic olives, but they really seem to be quite wonderful. I use those. And I don't think there's anything else. This aisle has capers, bottles of capers, which are wonderful for pizza. It also has a very nice form of, it's a fairly largely organic mayonnaise made from avocado oil. Although they're not organic, I find these walnuts to be quite wonderful. If you have the time, search online for organic walnut halves. These seem to check out, and they're extremely fresh. They move so many of them, they're just fresh. And then one of the very best things available in this store is the certified organic olive oil. And you have to search for it because there's so many different kinds. Organic extra virgin olive oil at a crazy price for 2 liters. Also, it's not recommended for everyone, but if you're going to use purified butter, ghee, this is the best stuff I've ever seen, and it's the best price I've ever seen. Another wonderful thing here is the organic, or the Himalayan pink salt. Great price, wouldn't buy it anywhere else. And one of my very favorite things, the Italian 100% organic lemon juice in 2-liter bottles. In this section a week ago was something called Praeger, P-R-A-E-G-E-R, California burgers, absolutely wonderful. They're all organic ingredients, and I get bunches of those frozen. This is usable Beyond Burger, plant-based. It's not organic, but it's good quality stuff. But the Praegers would be what I would look for. I'm trying to see if it's Sometimes they move it to a different end cap, but it does not appear to be here. So this is a very useful type of organic chicken. It's very tasty. People eat way too much chicken, but a little bit of it every once in a while is fine. That's what we use. This is a great aisle with these organic berry blends that are frozen, 3-pound bags. They have wonderful blueberries. I recommend that over everything else. Organic blueberries. If people are having a little trouble getting off of desserts, these cherries, which are organically grown in Turkey, are probably the sweetest, best cherries I've ever had in my life. Very, very good. Although you have to be careful, it's very sweet. They also have wonderful organic pineapple, and these change up as to what's here. The Thai superfruit are like almost little popsicles. Those are quite good with organic things. So all of the fruits frozen there are organic. They have whole green beans here that are absolutely wonderful, and they also have fresh ones that I'll show you a little bit later. So we stock up on that. They have mixed vegetables organic. You can use that to throw into stuff. The organic broccoli florets are fantastic and really have very high nutrient levels. And because they're frozen quickly, they're probably actually higher nutrients than fresh. This is at the back of the store where the toilet paper and all of that is kept. This organic hummus is one of the greatest things ever made as far as I'm concerned. I make organic hummus, but I can't begin to make it for this cost, and it's just extremely good stuff. I always buy a couple of those and keep them on hand for little snacks. This is a great, Soya is a wonderful brand of soy tofu, and it's fine to have that a couple of times a week. New research indicates that it's actually not so bad for you because it actually binds estrogen receptors so that it helps keep testosterone levels higher in men than was previously thought. So it's a good thing to have a couple of times a week. It's very clean protein. For a quick sort of a lunch meat type situation, don't recommend a lot of it, but this is a very good organic roasted turkey breast so that everything is not chicken. Good to get a little of that. This is an example in the fruit section, fresh fruit section in Costco, which unfortunately I don't use this area except for their organic bananas occasionally. But you look here, this is what I was talking about. The substance called thiabenazidol and imazidil, whatever their antifungal agents, they do get through into the fruit, and you just don't want to get that. So I stay away from this whole area. So in the fresh produce section, there are really some wonderful things. They have organic blueberries, fresh. They have all kinds of wonderful fresh lettuce greens. They have, at least hopefully they'll keep it that way, these beautiful 5-pound bags of, let's see, are these organic? No, they're not. They miss on that. And last week they had organic stuff. So then they have, like I said, all the various different greens. I do not recommend organic baby spinach. Definitely get other types of greens other than that. And then they have a wonderful organic green beans. These are just delightful things. They're how many pounds? I think they're 2-pound packages. Just beautiful, fresh, washed green beans. I recommend lots of green beans. You can have green beans every day to start out your day. In our miso soup, you can mix that sometimes with organic green onion tops. This is the second organic chocolate product that I recommend a little bit One little square of this is not bad at all, and it just tastes great. And the other one would be the one that I showed at Trader Joe's. One of the best snacks that you could possibly get are these soaked, sprouted organic pumpkin seeds. They run specials on them. It seems to be about once a month. We run in and buy a bunch of them. They're a little expensive if they're not on special, but regardless, they're just an absolutely wonderful snack. So here we are at my last stop today, K&S World Market. There are two of these. This one is in the White Bridge Road area, and then there's another one off Nolensville Road. In the K&S Market, you can get galanga, and that is the magic ingredient that we need. I'm going to get that one. Looks like a nice clean one. That magic ingredient that we need for the tom kha kai soup. And this is really wonderful, very often quite wonderful quality yucca. And I'm going to select a few of the large ones here.